Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hi, can I get your full name, please? You're muted. You're muted. There we go. All right, can I get your name, please?
Do we have the interpreter?
Your Honor, do we have the Spanish interpreter?
We're waiting for the interpreter, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. It doesn't look like the interpreter's on. Sorry. Can we hold off on her until the interpreter gets here?
Hello?
What were the three names that refused?
It was Diaz Martinez,
Or the right.
McKnight, Brianna,
Oh,
Right,
Rivera, Michael.
thank you. Okay.
Can I get those? Can I get those names as well?
I have McKnight, Diaz Martinez, and Rivera.
Okay. Those are all review hearings, so I'll probably just take care of those. I'll do that when we have a minute. All right. Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Alina and Kuriev.
Okay. I am seeing you this morning on drug paraphernalia. And then you've also got a warrant out of Tucson City Court for a drug paraphernalia charge from 2022. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And it looks like you are also being held for a Superior Court matter. Yes, you're being held without bond for a probation violation out of Superior Court. So you're going to be seen separately for that matter in Superior Court. I'm just seeing you on these misdemeanors. So on the new drug paraphernalia charge, I'm going to order release. And you'll have a hearing on January 13th at 8:30 in the morning. So if you end up out of custody by that date, you need to make sure that you get to Justice Court to deal with the new charge.
Yes.
And then on the city court warrant, I will order release, but you'll have a video review for the city court case on December 20th at 1:45 in the afternoon. If you were to be released by that date, you would need to get to city court to deal with that as well. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
Do we have the Spanish interpreter?
Someone hopped on. I don't know who that is.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is the Spanish court interpreter.
Okay, so we can get her back.
Yes, thank you very much.
Aquí sí, por favor.
Okay. Hi, can I get your full name, please?
Hola, muy buenos días. ¿Me puedes dar tu nombre completo?
Angelina Esmeralda Mora Melgoza.
Angelina Esmeralda. ¿El apellido me lo dices otra vez?
Mora Melgoza.
Mores Melgoza.
Okay, I'm seeing you this morning because you've been charged with a couple of felonies in Pima County Superior Court, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and minor with a firearm.
Bueno, esta mañana usted está compareciendo ante la juez porque tiene algunas acusaciones que se consideran delitos graves y esas salen a raíz del Tribunal Superior del Condado de Pima. Una de ellas es agresión con agravantes con un arma de fuego y otra es por ser menor de edad con un arma de fuego.
You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got an attorney seated next to you for today's hearing.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer callada, todo lo que diga puede y será utilizado en su contra. Usted tiene el derecho a ser representado por un abogado y sí le voy a asignar a un defensor público para que la represente y sentada enseguida de usted está un abogado para el propósito de esta audiencia.
So I'm seeing that this was a dismissed and then refiled matter, and the warrant resulted from her failure to appear at arraignment after the summons was mailed.
Bueno, dice la juez, veo que este caso fue desestimado y después fue vuelto a presentar una vez más y se emitió una orden de arresto porque no compareció a su lectura de cargos después de que se había mandado un citatorio judicial por correo.
So for those reasons, I'm inclined to release her to pretrial services. Mr. Poston, you're asking for a $1,000 bond?
Your Honor, on second thought, the state agrees with the court's inclination.
Y le pregunta a la jueza al fiscal, yo por esas razones estoy considerando dejarla libre bajo la supervisión de los servicios previos al juicio. Señor Postman, usted quiere que le fije fianza de $1,000 y dice el señor Postman que no, que pensándolo bien, él está de acuerdo con lo que la juez está considerando hacer.
Ma'am, the last name is Poston, Poston, as in November.
Thank you, el señor Poston.
Okay, ma'am. So I'm going to release you to the third-party custody of pretrial services. So you're going to need to get in contact with them when you get out.
Bueno, le dice la juez, señorita, la voy a dejar libre, pero va a quedar bajo la supervisión de los servicios previos al juicio y usted se tiene que poner en comunicación con esta agencia en cuanto usted sea liberada.
I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial and do not possess any firearms or weapons.
Y le voy a ordenar que usted siga el tratamiento o monitoreo que le indiquen los servicios previos al juicio y que usted no debe de poseer ningún arma de fuego.
And I'm ordering that you have no contact of any kind with any alleged victims.
Y también le voy a ordenar que usted no puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con las presuntas víctimas.
You need to be in Pima County Superior Court in 1 week on December 20th at 1:30 in the afternoon for your arraignment in this case.
Y usted necesita presentarse en el Tribunal Superior del Condado de Pima el día 20 de diciembre a la 1:30, que es en una semana, y es para su lectura de cargos.
That hearing is going to be in front of me. If you do not come to that hearing, I am very likely going to issue another warrant for your arrest, and it's unlikely that you would get out of custody without a bond.
Y en esa audiencia usted va a comparecer enfrente de mí, la juez, pero si usted no se presenta, muy probablemente se va a emitir otra orden de arresto para que la detengan y en ese entonces va a quedar detenida y probablemente no se le dé derecho a fianza.
So, ma'am, you're going to get paperwork with this information on it, but it's really important that you are in contact with pretrial services when you're released, with the public defender's office, and that you get to court in 1 week next Friday at 1:30.
Entonces, usted va a recibir unos documentos con toda esta información escrita, pero es muy importante que usted se ponga en comunicación con los servicios previos al juicio y también que se mantenga en comunicación con la oficina del defensor público y que usted venga a su audiencia en una semana, que es el próximo viernes a la 1:30.
Understand all of that?
¿Le quedó claro todo eso que le dije?
Sí, por supuesto.
Yes, of course.
Okay, thank you. You're excused. I'll see you in court in a week.
Okay. Muchas gracias y nos vemos en una semana en el juzgado.
Thank you.
Morning, Carol. Can you clear the halls from here to the hotel? Thank you. Right. Pass it.
Gilson? You sit down right here. Yes. Oh, we do stereo? Yes.
Maddie, this guy has a warrant out of Oro Valley. Okay. Okay. Great. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Douglas Gilson.
Mr. Gilson, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of knowingly displaying a fictitious plate and driving on a suspended license. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So, sir, it looks like you're being held for a probation violation that's also out of Oro Valley. Looks like that's a $4,000 cash only bond on that. On these new charges, I'm just going to order that you be held on a $250 cash bond. Ordering if you were to post those bonds that you do not drive without a valid driver's license. And I'm going to appoint an attorney for you. That will be Richard Glenn. And your hearing will be on December 18th at 10:30 in the morning. If you were to post those bonds, you would need to make sure that you get to Oro Valley on that date so that a warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right, you're excused.
And Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cody?
Hi, can I get your full name?
Cody Herndon.
I am seeing you this morning on a charge of domestic violence assault. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So pretrial services spoke with the alleged victim, your boyfriend. His name is Cody also?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, He said that he does not object to your release and that you are welcome to return home at this time. So I am going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence, and you need to be in Marana City Court. Your hearing is not until February. It's February 5th at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're going to get paperwork with that information on it, but it's really important that you get to that hearing so that a warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Neiman?
Go back to the pit and see what's, Thank you.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Joseph Neiman, N-E-I-M-A-N.
Mr. Neiman, I'm seeing you this morning on a charge of domestic violence assault. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Let's see. Give me just a moment here. All right, sir. So, pretrial services did not speak with your father, so I don't know what his position is as far as whether or not he wants to have contact and whether or not you can return home. However, they did speak with your mother, who said that you can return home. So I'm gonna order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence. And if you were to go home and your father does not want you to be there, you need to find somewhere else to go. Do you understand that?
So,
And then you need to be in Pima County Justice Court on January 13th at 10:30 in the morning, or a warrant can issue for your arrest. You're gonna get paperwork with that information on it, okay?
yes, ma'am, may I ask, where am I supposed to go? Because that's my house that he's in.
You,
It's mine.
you own the house?
It's an apartment complex. It's mine, yes.
Well, if he's got a right to be there and he doesn't want you there, you've got to go somewhere else. It doesn't sound like that's going to be the case because your mom said that you can come back home. So you guys are just going to have to figure that out.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, can I get your full name?
Tiffany Birch.
Ms. Burns, I'm seeing you this morning on a charge of domestic violence, criminal damage. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Let's see.
Go back on one.
I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. Pretrial services did speak with the alleged victim, your mother. She said that you're welcome to return home and she does not object to your release. So I'm ordering that you be released and I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence. And then you need to be in Tucson City Court on January 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning, or a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes,
All right, you're excused.
thank you.
Mr. Fleming?
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Yes, my name is Virgil T. Fleming.
I'm seeing you this morning on domestic violence charges, 3 counts of disorderly conduct and 1 count of assault. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Let's see. So pretrial services only was able to speak with one of the alleged victims, your mother. And she said that she does not object to your release, that she wants to have contact with you, but that you cannot go back to the residence at this time. You're living somewhere else though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. That's on, do you have a residence on 6th Avenue? Okay. So I'm going to order that you can't go back to the Camino Seco address right now, okay? Yes. Okay.
How am I?
Yes, so I'll put in my Yep, I'm going to put in my order that you can return 1 time with the law enforcement escort. So you'll take my court order to the nearest police station to that residence, and they'll go with you to get your things, okay? All right. So I am ordering release on your promise to appear in court, commit no further acts of domestic violence, don't go back to the residence except for that 1 time with law enforcement, and then you need to be in Tucson City Court on January 17th at 9:30 in the morning, or a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. You're excused.
Right. Oh, yeah, what? What? Have a seat right there.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Okay, that's exactly, yeah, it's only some point.
All right,
That's too many population.
All right, sir. I'm seeing you this morning on new charges of criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia, and disorderly conduct. And then you've also got some warrants out of Tucson City Court for failures.
What?
Your warrants are for drug paraphernalia, criminal trespass from November 7th of this year, drug paraphernalia. All right, I'm gonna order that you be held on a $500 cash bond. I'm gonna enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you, and you're gonna be seen on December 20th at 1:45 in the afternoon. Your excuse, sir. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Hi, my name is Renee Lucero.
Mr. Lucero, I'm seeing you this morning on a new charge of domestic violence, criminal damage. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for you at this time, and I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. And I'll advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So, sir, you're being held without bond currently on your Superior Court probation hold. So you'll be seen separately in Superior Court for that, I would guess sometime next week. So on this new charge, I'm going to order a $250 cash bond. If you were to be released at some point, I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence, that you possess no firearms or weapons, that you have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, that you not go to her residence or workplace or have any other kind of contact with her. And you'll have a video review hearing on December 23rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you were to be released by that date, you would need to get to city court or a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yeah, I have one question. So I have a bond, or how does that even? I don't understand what's going on.
You're being held without bond because there's a probation hold on your Superior Court case. So you'll be seen
Okay.
in Superior Court separately for your probation hold, probably sometime next week. So in this case, on this new charge out of Tucson City Court, I'm holding you on a $250 cash bond. So if that hold were to be lifted on your probation case in Superior Court, then you could bond out in this case. Okay, you're excused.
Well,
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Yes, Cheryl Willett.
Mr. Willera, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of domestic violence, assault, and disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Give me just a moment to review your paperwork. Is there a probation hold on Mr. Willera yet?
No, Judge.
So, sir, I'll enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you and advise you that you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I'm going to order the secured bond in this case. I'm ordering, if you were to post that bond, that you commit no further acts of domestic violence, that you possess no firearms or weapons, and that you have no contact of any kind with Miss Grayson. You do not go to her residence or workplace. I will put in my order that you could return one time with a law enforcement escort if you still have personal belongings at her residence. So you would take my court order to the nearest police station and ask them to go with you to get your things. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused. Oh, and wait, I didn't tell you your next court date. If you're still in custody, you'll have a video review on December 23rd at 1:30. If you were to bond out, you would need to make sure to get to that hearing or warrant can issue for your arrest, okay? All right, you're excused.
One. Sure. Okay.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name, please?
Angel Ramirez. Angel Gabriel Ramirez.
Mr. Ramirez, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of aggravated DUI, child abuse, 3 counts of endangerment, and criminal damage. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. The state is asking for a $7,500 bond. Given the allegations here and the fact that he is currently on probation for a misdemeanor DUI, it looks like he was just placed on probation 1 month ago for a extreme DUI. Defense?
Your Honor, we were we're requesting pretrial services release since he's been a resident in Tucson for over 20 years. And this is the first felony allegation that I see. I didn't see anything else in the pretrial services report. Thank you.
I'm going to order $7,500 cash or secured bond, release to pretrial if that bond is posted. Do not drive without a valid driver's license, no alcohol or illegal drugs, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. And preliminary hearing date is scheduled for December 23rd. All right, sir. So if you do post that bond, you need to make sure that you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court, because that hearing is very likely going to be continued to a later date. All right?
Okay.
All right, you're excused.
Oh, you want to set up? That's right.
Nice to hear. Go all the way around. That's it. You see all that space. Don't worry.
Morning. I'm with the public defender's office.
You know who Ann Bowerman is?
Pardon?
Ann Bowerman. If I mess up, why did you shouldn't be here? Ann Bowerman is. This case was done in court.
What's your?
William S. Allen. This case was thrown out. Ann Bowerman was my lawyer. As you went she's out. This went up for the courts.
Hi, sir.
And it's
Can I get your full name?
William Samuel Allen.
All right, Mr. Allen, I'm seeing you this morning on a few different matters. You've got a new felony charge of aggravated harassment. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. I'm going to hear from the state on their recommendation, and then I'll hear from defense.
Your Honor, this person has been persisting in contacting a victim against who has an order of protection that was lawfully obtained and served against this defendant. He has extensive history of probation revocation representing a flight risk. The inherent nature is aggravated harassment. He's a 6 out of 6 and 6 out of 6. He presents an unacceptable risk to the victim. He has pending charges from July, which I'm told by the detective are being issued on Tuesday. He has misdemeanor warrant for assault. In addition, the detective informs me that this person has been posting online and otherwise making threats against his own family members. He has threatened to shoot any law enforcement officer he encounters in Pima County. He has gone online to threaten the chief of the Tucson police. Apparently, he has made online threats to the president of the United States as well as the mayor of Tucson. Your Honor, the state believes this person is a dire risk to the safety of the community and several individuals, at least $10,000.
Okay, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're requesting a $2,500 bond in this matter. Thanks.
Your Honor, may I speak?
No, sir, not right now. You can talk to your attorney, all right, at the public defender's office. All right, so I'm gonna order the $10,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured and released to pretrial services if posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. No firearms or weapons, no contact of any kind with the alleged victim. And preliminary hearing date is scheduled for December 23rd. And then there's a couple of city court warrants that we need to deal with. Got a warrant from September 14th of this year for assault and disorderly conduct. And then one from July 14th of this year for criminal damage. On
That was
those,
dismissed, ma'am.
all right, well, you'll
That was,
get,
it was dismissed with Ann Bowerman in a court at UNC South. And the judge, my lawyer, my sister, that was brought up and, or Anthony O'Connor's didn't find anybody. Well, the judge, Ann Bowerman, and the judge found the cops literally lying when I reported sodomy, getting raped, having cum coming down my ass with blood. And they told me, shut up. That's what this is about. It has nothing to do with the president. It's all about getting raped and sodomized and my property totally gone.
all right, sir, well, you're gonna
I
get it.
kept saying that, making reports. And another thing, I'm wheelchair bound and these guys want me to walk with a crushed back. You need to tell these guys, if you don't mind, if he's wheelchair bound, and I can show you the scars where my back is crushed in 6 spots, I don't need to walk with these people. It hurts immensely.
All right, sir, so on the city court matters,
I haven't eaten in
I'm-
2 days. You didn't eat it.
I'm gonna order that you be held
When
on
do I get to go to the bathroom?
$1,000 cash or secured bond, and I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. And you've got a video review hearing on December 20th at 1:45 in the afternoon.
Okay. Get my. And I've been walking. I'm tired of the attitude. It's painful. I am a flawless. That doesn't mean I can walk. And there's a wheelchair and they won't let me use it. What is up with that?
All right. Jail,
Yeah,
can you give him the wheelchair?
Ruse is the one telling me go screw myself. You can walk. Officer Ruse. And I'm getting tired of this crap with courts. This court was been in front of Ann Bowerman. It was dismissed against Kenneth Rennick, Hranek. Ann Bowerman will tell you that. It was dismissed. Everything you have up was dismissed.
All right.
Crenshaw.
Make sure you have your attorneys talk to Miss Bowerman.
You can't even get a hold of Miss Bowerman. Jan Brewer's daughter, and we all know that. That's why I'm in this court, because I'm exposing Brewer, I'm exposing the president, who are nations, Leanne, everybody from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Now, if that's a criminal to expose criminal, then you guys are more messed up than I am. You're communists. I don't find that funny. I need a wheelchair. Okay, so don't ask me to keep getting up and walking if you're not a goddamn doctor. This is getting old. I need to fucking eat a few goddamn things.
Thank you,
Not
Jail.
fucking slave. Okay, motherfucker. I can get this myself. I don't need this fucking old.
Anderson, Julian?
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
Julia Brittany Anderson.
All right, Miss Anderson, I'm seeing you because you were arrested for a paraphernalia charge, but the state has moved to dismiss that. So I'm going to order that that charge be dismissed without prejudice. I understand though that I think there's a federal hold and that they should be coming to pick you up soon. All right?
Okay,
All right.
you know, if they're, that's my opinion, you know. I think the best. I like what you say now.
Others?
Ma'am, can I get your full name?
Carrie Ann Thomas.
Ms. Chavez, I'm seeing you this morning on a few different matters. You've got new felony charges of possession of a narcotic drug, possession of narcotic paraphernalia. And then you've got some new misdemeanor charges of shoplifting and criminal damage that'll be handled out of Tucson City Court, where you've also got another case pending there. It looks like you actually just saw Judge Million. It looks like just recently, right?
Yeah, I'm on probation. I see her every month.
Okay. All right, so, it looks like, ma'am, you are likely eligible for a drug diversion program where if you get to court and you participate in some drug treatment, you could have these felony charges dismissed before they're ever formally filed. Are you interested in that?
Yes.
All right. So the state's okay with you being released to pretrial services, so you're gonna have to be in contact with them when you get out. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them and no alcohol or illegal drugs. And then you're gonna need to be in Superior Court in 1 week from today for what's called a smart court hearing. That'll be where you'll find out if you're eligible for that program. You have to get to that hearing 1 week, next Friday, December 23rd, or sorry, December 20th at 9 o'clock in the morning. And council waive time for the PH.
Yes, Your Honor.
That'll be January 27th. All right, and then, on this, I'm gonna arraign you on these new city court charges. I'm gonna enter pleas of not guilty and advise you that you have the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense. And you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So on the city court matters, I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. And we will keep your hearing in city court for January 22nd at 9 o'clock in the morning with Judge Million. So she'll see you as you were already scheduled for your other case, but now she'll see you on this new case as well, okay?
Okay.
So make sure that you get to that court date as well. And I'm ordering that you not return to the incident location from that shoplift, okay? Or I think there were
Okay.
a couple of locations. All right. All right, ma'am, you're excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am, can I get your full name?
Menial Kennedy.
Did you say Kennedy?
Menial Kennedy.
Okay. Miss Kennedy, I am seeing you this morning because you have a warrant out of Superior Court for a charge of criminal damage from back in December 16th of 2022. And it looks like you were sent notice of your arraignment in the mail, and then when you did not appear in court, a warrant issued. So my inclination would be to release to pretrial services. Mr. Poston, did you want to be heard?
Your Honor, it's alleged this person caused almost $500,000 in damages to a Motel 6 by starting a fire. The state strongly urges the court to consider a bond of at least $10,000.
All right, defense?
And Judge, we're requesting pretrial services release based on the fact that she has no priors. The pretrial service report indicates that the summons was mailed but later returned back in September of 2023. So I don't even know that she had noticed that she needed to appear. So we're requesting the court to give her the opportunity to appear on her own. Thank you.
And I'm also seeing absolutely no criminal history, lowest scores on the scales. Ma'am, do you have housing right now? Where are you living?
In Missouri, in Carthage, Missouri.
All right, were you arrested here?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. I mean, yes, Your Honor.
But you're living in Missouri?
Place to stay here. So I came and visit my kids. I haven't been able to get into Christmas for that.
Your Honor, she was arrested shortly after she arrived here for a visit, but she does have family here in town. I'm sorry, Your Honor, in Phoenix. Your Honor, she is able to travel here from Missouri if she, to come back for court hearings, court dates.
So you're going to have an arraignment in 1 week from today. So I don't want you to leave before that arraignment. But you could go and stay. Can you go and stay in Phoenix with your family and then come back to Tucson in a week for your arraignment?
I'll check.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to order that you be released to pretrial services supervision. So you need to check in with them when you get out. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them. And then your arraignment, like I said, is in 1 week from today. It's next Friday, December 20th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You have to be at that hearing. That's going to be with me in Superior Court. You're going to get paperwork with this. You need to be at that hearing. If you are not at that hearing, I'm very likely going to issue a warrant and you likely would not get out without a high bond. Okay. So you need to be at that hearing in person in Superior Court in 1 week. And then we can talk about you going back to Missouri at that point. Okay. But for now, I want you to stay here.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So she's gonna wait. Can we try to get in person? What do you do? Show up here? No, you're not gonna show up here. It's gonna be in the paperwork. You're gonna go to the Superior Court on Friday afternoon at 1:30. Okay, and so you have to be there in person or another wants if you want to right back here. You won't get released the next time. So yes, okay. Yes, sure.
You're excused. I'll see you in court in a week.
Yes, yes, sure. Good luck. Thank you.
Sir, can I get your full name?
Hector Soto Martinez.
Mr. Martinez, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of aggravated DUI and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. And you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. State's asking for a $7,500 bond. Given the allegations of this being a hit and run. I'll hear from defense.
Judge, we're requesting release to pretrial services. I know the pretrial services report indicates no other felony history, and I'm only seeing one misdemeanor DUI from 97. And he does have full-time employment in town. So for those reasons, we're requesting pretrial services.
Right, sir, I'm going to order that you be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services. So you need to check in with them when you get out. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them. No alcohol or illegal drugs, and do not drive without a valid driver's license. Do you understand those orders?
Yes.
And
Your Honor.
you've got a preliminary hearing date scheduled for January 2nd, but sir, that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You're going to get a hearing at a later date, so it's really important that you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court so that a warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right, you're excused. Hi, sir, can I get your full name?
My name is Jess Benjamin Oliver.
Sir Oliver, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of criminal damage and endangerment. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. State's asking for a $5,000 bond, given the allegations here of a DUI accident. I'll hear from defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're requesting pretrial services release in this matter, given that he has no prior convictions according to the pretrial services report, and he is employed full-time.
All right, sir, I'm going to release you to the third-party custody of pretrial services. You need to check in with them when you get out. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them. No alcohol or illegal drugs, and do not drive without a valid driver's license. Do you understand all of those orders?
Yes, I do.
All right, and then you have a preliminary hearing date scheduled for January 2nd, but sir, that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You'll get a hearing at a later date, so it's really important that you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court so that a warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. You understand?
I do.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
Hi, ma'am, can I get your full name?
Angel Marie,
I am seeing you this morning on a few different matters. You've got a felony warrant out of Superior Court for narcotic drug violation and drug paraphernalia. Those are allegations from July 21st of this year. And then you've got many warrants and cases out of Tucson City Court. I don't believe there's any new ones, but I think there are 13 different cases that you have currently there that are in warrant status for failures to appear. The state's asking on the felony matter that I hold you on a $5,000 bond given the failures to appear. I'm just so defense knows I'm not going to release her to pretrial, and I am going to hold her on a significant bond on the misdemeanor matters. So did you want to be heard on the felony?
That judge will cost a $1,500 bond in the felony matters.
All right. I'll order a $1,500 cash or secured bond released to pretrial if that bond is posted. Monitoring or treatment as directed, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Public defender is appointed and the arraignment is scheduled for December 20th at 1:30. And then on the city court matters, order another $1,500 bond, cash or secured. And order no alcohol or illegal drugs, no return to any incident location. We'll appoint Sal Huerta, who was already assigned on your cases. And your hearing in city court will be also scheduled for, it's scheduled for the same date. So can I get a new time for her for a video review? All right, so your video review in city court will be on December 27th at 1:45 in the afternoon. All right, you understand all of that, ma'am?
Yeah.
All right, you're excused.
Good morning.
What's your full name?
Orlando Henry Robles.
Mr. Robles, I'm seeing you this morning on a charge of prohibited possessor. This is an allegation from August 27th of this year. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. The state's asking for a $15,000 bond. I'll hear from Mr. Poston on that.
With fires for ag assault, disfigurement, ag assault, deadly weapon, armed robbery, was seen on surveillance video producing and discharging a weapon at Quick Trips. Post Miranda, he admitted he was the person on the video firing the weapon. This person has shown by his past that he is capable of hurting people. He is a prohibited possessor, and there are allegations in the report that he does not only possess this weapon but discharged it. He is a danger. 15,000.
All right, and I got some additional information that this was a situation that involved self-defense, which is why. Okay. Yeah. So the police officer that's here told me that this was a self-defense situation. He ended up in the hospital, also shot. And so this is just a prohibited possessor charge.
Very well, Your Honor. A person who has prior convictions for crimes against persons and still holding a weapon.
Okay. All right. I'll hear from defense.
Judge, we're requesting pretrial services release, given that an officer, has told the court that this was a self-defense matter. He did end up in the hospital for this with an injury. So, although he was not supposed to be, although there is an allegation of an admission into having a firearm, I believe that, he should remain out of custody while this is investigated further, and to have the opportunity to stay out while the court process continues. Thank you.
Sir, I'm inclined to release you to pretrial services. I've got some concerns considering your prior felony convictions involving weapons. Are you clear that you cannot have any firearms or weapons in your possession, no matter what the circumstances are? All right. I'm going to order that you be released to pretrial services, ordering that you possess no firearms or weapons, ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial. So make sure you check in with them when you get out. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for January 2nd, but that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You'll get a hearing at a later date. So it's going to be really important that you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court so that a warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. You're excused.
Thanks. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Are you guys giving me papers or anything?
Yeah, after this, we'll give you a quick paperwork. Thank you. Yep.
That's the thing, so you can look a screenshot. Right. Okay.
Hi, sir. Can I have your full name?
Hi, morning, Your Honor. It's Daniel Padilla Schweitzer.
All right, Mr. Schweitzer, you were arrested on charges of narcotic drug possession and drug paraphernalia. The state is moving to dismiss those charges without prejudice. So I'm going to go ahead and order that they be dismissed. That means that they could bring them back at some point, but for now they're dismissed and you're going to be released as to this charge. All right?
Okay, great, thank you.
All right, and your excuse, sir.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna go ahead, while we're on the record and continue these matters, all of the review hearings that refused. So Aaron, Jonathan Diaz Martinez, I'm gonna set another review hearing for him January 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Brianna McKnight, I'll set her next review hearing also for January 13th at 9. And Michael Rivera, on both of his matters, we will also set review hearings on January 13th at 9. All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Great day.